Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I've actually sat down in front of the camera and filmed a video. I was still filming videos, but I was doing like declutter videos, my everyday makeup drawer. I filmed all of my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow swatches, which took me like 3 hours. That will be up soon once I edit it. But I thought it'd be fun to hang out and chat about new makeup launches. One of you asked me to do an anti-haul when I asked you for video recommendations for the month of May. We just had Sephora's VIB sale and Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty and the spring haul event, like a lot of sales where I personally did pick up some products. I know some of you did as well. So if you're looking for someone to talk you out of additional new launches, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I do like trying new makeup. There's nothing wrong with buying new makeup and adding something new to your collection, but I feel like it's always really nice to strike a balance and enjoy what you have as well. So during the month of May, I'm just kind of focusing on shopping my stash, probably June as well, and just kind of cutting back on lip products for the majority of the summer too. So anyway, I have some new makeup products to chat about. I'll share if there's something I'm using in my collection instead. So Huda Beauty just launched their lip blush, which is a cream lip and cheek stain all in one. It comes in 5 shades and it's supposed to be hydrating, ultra comfortable, and transfer proof. They do say it has a natural matte finish that lasts all day long. So I do kind of think this is going to be maybe a little bit of a trendy product right now. Summer is right around the corner. People are looking for long lasting makeup. Matte products are definitely making a comeback. So a soft matte lip and cheek all in one that stays in place does sound like it could have the potential to maybe be really popular this summer. I do wonder how well a sheer lip stain will actually stain the lips all day long. In general, I feel like most lip stains that do stay vibrant and looking really fresh are brighter or a little bit deeper. Elf's glossy lip stains are really nice, but I do have a few shades that are a little bit softer, and I don't think they tend to look as good throughout the day. I definitely tend to go for something brighter when I am wearing a glossy lip stain. I also don't know that I've tried like a matte lip stain. In general, a lot of the lip stains I wear are glossy lip stains, but you know what? They start off glossy and then once that wears off, they kind of dry down to more of a matte finish. So I guess this is just skipping like the actual glossy layer first. So I don't plan on trying this formula, but I will say I feel like that is one category where a lot of drugstore formulas are just as good, even better than high-end alternatives. A lot of K-beauty brands make beautiful lip stains. They kind of market them as like water tints or gel tints. I've tried a few from Yes Style that I really enjoy too. So anyway, I don't plan on picking this up, but I do need to kind of keep that in mind as we move into the summer and we see additional lip stain launches. Actually, Fenty is also launching a new limited edition shade of their Poutsicle Hydrating Lip Stain, which is a formula I really love. They're also doing a matchstick cheek and lip, which is basically like a cream product you can use on the cheeks or the lips. First of all, this limited edition packaging is gorgeous. I feel like it is so summertime appropriate, and the shades are really pretty for summer too, but it does say these are color adaptive. So basically they react to your skin's natural chemistry and kind of adjust. Actually, I can't tell if that's the case for both of these products or just the matchstick. It looks like it's both of them based on the marketing. Like the packaging kind of changes from one shade to another. I feel like we're seeing this so much lately. And honestly, I hate that it's become such a trend. I remember years ago when brands were kind of doing this, not as much, but I specifically remember like an IT Cosmetics lip balm that did this to my lips. And that is when I discovered I just wasn't a fan of like the pH changing lip products. I've tried a few over like the past year since they've been making a comeback, and they always just look really unflattering on me. Like initially the products look good, but typically a lot of them do stain the lips or they leave behind like this bright hot pink tint, which never looks good. I know some people like these products a lot. I haven't tried a lot of cheek products that change colors, so maybe I wouldn't be as opposed to a pH changing cheek product. I know that there are some that have gone viral on TikTok and they end up looking really pretty, but I just feel like for whatever reason, I don't typically love the shade on me. I'm not generally a big fan of super hot pink lip products anyway, so maybe that's why, but I just plan on sticking with the regular Poutsicle formula. I think it's really nice, but if you are a fan of the pH products, maybe this appeals to you. I really think it's the type of product where you don't need to buy every single one. A lot of them end up looking so similar on the lips. So if you have one or two, you're probably good. And again, I think we'll be seeing a lot of these over the next few months. Actually, wait, Tarte just launched a Maracuja Juicy Lip Plumping Trio. So at first I was like, ooh, a nice trio for spring. I love the Maracuja Juicy Lips so much. I typically get one of these sets during the holidays, but I like when brands make them available randomly throughout the year as well. First of all, I do not need any additional ones because I do have a lot. They're great, but I feel like I'm pretty set for now. So that is the first reason why I don't need to pick these up. But also, this is another pH changing formula. I think because of the color changing aspect, the two lighter shades in this set, Rose and Ego, would probably look exactly the same on the lips once you apply them. And then the shade Honeysuckle is gorgeous. I actually have the one just in the regular plumping formula and I love it. But I think, I wish they would have kind of had a little bit more variation within this set. You can get all three for $39 on QVC. So this I don't think is available at Sephora or Ulta. So I kind of wonder if they're testing this formula to decide whether or not to release like an entire line of these. Tarte did like a full line of color changing lip glosses, I want to say a few months ago, and I saw swatches on TikTok and they were all like completely sheer when you first applied them and then they adjusted to the exact same shade. So I feel like if a brand is going to launch a color changing product, it would be best if they just launched one. I feel like it is such a cash grab to launch, six clear lip glosses that all adjust to the same shade. At least with these, initially you do get a little bit of a different color. And I think honeysuckle would look fairly different, but the other two would look identical on the lips. Okay, last lip product for now, but Fenty did release a new Gloss Bomb Heat, and the Gloss Bomb Heat formula is my favorite Fenty formula. It is so good. I currently have those in my everyday makeup drawer just because I've been wanting to get a little bit more use out of them, and I feel like they're perfect to wear on their own, on top of lipstick. They look so smooth. They do a great job at making your lips just have like this beautiful glossy finish, and I do think they plump the lips as well. But I don't know, I can't justify $26 for a clear lip gloss. I will say I did end up purchasing the Gloss Bomb Ice a few months ago. I was redeeming my Ulta points, and sometimes when I redeem my Ulta points, I end up like splurging on something that I wouldn't typically pay money for because I feel like the points are a time to kind of try something a little bit different, maybe more luxurious. So I decided to grab it. The formula is nice. I love the cooling aspect to it, but I don't end up wearing it as much because a clear lip gloss for me is not like my ideal option. I love lip gloss that has like a little bit of a tint, or I like even a little bit more of a fully pigmented lip gloss these days, but not typically just a clear. Lip balm and lip oils are a little bit different for me because I feel like I end up wearing those like around the house or a bed, but lip gloss is something that I really only wear out of the house, and I usually want it to have a little bit of a color to it. So the formula is nice. This looks so pretty on all of the models, but I don't know, I've just found over the years that I'm just as happy with like a clear $3 lip gloss from e.l.f. as I am an expensive high-end alternative. By the way, I cut my hair. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I cut a lot off. Like it was probably down to my waist, and I went in thinking I was making a significant change, asking for like 5 or 6 inches. And I think in the end, she ended up cutting like at least 10, maybe a little bit more, which was very shocking. I don't, it's like, I didn't realize it was happening while it was happening because my head was down because my hair is so long. And when I looked up, I was like, whoa. But I feel like now that I've had the chance to get used to it, it's nice. It feels lighter. It takes so much less time to like wash and comb and style, which I think will be really good for the spring and summertime. And I do feel like it has a little bit more volume because it's not weighing itself down. So I think I enjoy it, but it was a little bit of a shock. Okay, so let's talk about some eyeshadow palettes. I haven't purchased a new eyeshadow palette this year with the exception of like a few drugstore quads. I had an idea in mind that I would only stick with like 3 high-end palettes, but it's May and I haven't even purchased one. So I don't know, I'm just kind of waiting to see if anything really jumps out at me. I don't need a new eyeshadow palette. I just decluttered my palettes. If you guys want to check out that video, I'll link it below. But I feel pretty good just about enjoying what I have right now. It's been nice. I will say this Melt palette jumped out at me. This is the Electric eyeshadow palette. I actually love the colors. This feels like a Melt palette. A lot of their recent launches over the past few years haven't felt like Melt palettes to me. Like they've just been a little bit underwhelming. And sometimes their palettes are kind of hit and miss. So I haven't purchased one in a long time, but I was tempted to buy this one. I just don't know that I would wear it enough to justify the $58 price point. I love colorful eyeshadow. Honestly, I miss the days where I had like a full-on green eyeshadow look or blue or purple. And there are days where I will wear that, but it just takes a little extra time. And I think colorful eyeshadow for me, it doesn't always come easily. Like I have to really sit down and decide what colors to put together. It always takes extra blending. And when I have extra time in the morning to focus on my makeup, I usually focus a little bit more on like the complexion or cheek products rather than blending eyeshadow. So I'm sure there will be a day where I go back to wearing really fun eyeshadow. I miss it so, so much, but I feel like life just doesn't lend itself to taking the time to do a lot of colorful looks these days. So I think this has to be a palette that I admire from afar. It's so, so gorgeous. I know, like in my heart, I would not use it enough to justify adding it to my collection. If I do purchase a palette this year, it has to be something I know I'll reach for nonstop, like something I'll absolutely love and use a ton. But I do think it's nice to see Melt kind of going back to what makes them melt. By the way, Melt was on sale on Sephora's website the other day. Like the entire line was discounted. So at first I thought they were leaving Sephora, and then I checked back a few days later and they weren't discounted anymore. But I thought that was kind of interesting because I don't know, I don't hear much about them these days. Okay, this is a neutral palette, but it's still not something I plan on picking up. This is the Cali Ray Endless Sunset face and eyeshadow palette. It's $48. This is such a light eyeshadow palette. I think it probably would have been a good option if they did like a lighter option, a medium toned option, and a deeper option because the colors are pretty, but I can't imagine this is going to work on a ton of skin tones. But especially since they're marketing it as a face and eye palette, there definitely needs to be either more variation within the one palette or just multiple options as a whole. That I think is the best option. The pans aren't for me. I'm not a big fan of like oddly shaped eyeshadow palette pans. I usually like them to be very uniform. And realistically, you don't get a ton of product in here. I mean, I don't know. I can probably look at the actual pan size, but there's a ton of wasted space. The bronzer pans seem really small. Like they would be fine for eyeshadow, but I don't know that I'd really be able to fit my bronzer brush in there because when it comes to powder bronzer, I usually like to use like a big fluffy brush. If you didn't know, the creator of or the founder of Cali Ray is the founder of Urban Decay, Wendy Zomner, I'm pretty sure her name is. So I saw a video on Instagram where she was talking about like how her and her team created Urban Decay's Naked palette just to have like an all-in-one palette that you could always reach for. So that was kind of her inspiration behind this one. And I think in the actual promos, like they were showing the models weren't actually naked, but like they were kind of implying that this is like their brand's naked palette, if you know what I mean. I think the thing with the original naked palette is there was definitely a wider range of shades, like lighter shades, medium tone shades, deeper shades. This could be a great palette for you if you do have a lighter skin tone. Maybe it would be your all-in-one, but I just feel like it would be nice to see a lighter option, a medium option, and a deeper toned option if they are looking to create like a true all-in-one palette for people to reach for. Natasha Denona launched a new concealer. I haven't watched any reviews on this yet, but they do say it contains high-tech active ingredients that work instantly and over time to brighten dark circles, reduce puffiness, and diminish the appearance of lines and wrinkles. Those are some intense claims for a concealer. So I've heard from some of you lately in the comments of a few of my recent videos, just kind of sharing your thoughts on like makeup, skincare, hybrid products, because I do feel like that is something that's a little bit more popular these days. Like a lot of makeup brands are infusing their products with either really good skincare ingredients or they're kind of creating makeup that can be used as skincare, like an all-in-one. So it's been interesting because it seems like when I read through my comments or just talk with you guys on Instagram, the general consensus is that a lot of you just prefer to, rely on your skincare for skincare benefits and then use makeup separately. It also seems like a lot of these products are expensive. And I kind of wonder if brands are using this maybe trend as a way to increase the price on a lot of their products. I actually don't know how much this concealer is, but I mean, I'm sure it's kind of expensive anyway because it is Natasha Denona. It's $30, which I feel like is probably kind of on par with other high-end concealers. Let me just take a look on Sephora's website. So Rare Beauties is 22, NARS is 32, Dior is 32, Kosas is 30. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty typical for high-end brands. So I don't know that they've really raised the price significantly based on these claims, but I do feel like that can be the case for other brands. It sounds like a nice concealer. It's supposed to be long-lasting, have a naturally luminous matte finish. I feel like when brands describe that, it's probably almost more of like a semi-matte finish. Medium coverage, it comes in 56 shades, which is amazing. I mean, it sounds nice, but I do feel like, I agree with you on the skincare and makeup take. I don't mind if my makeup products have good skincare ingredients, but typically I'm not relying on them to kind of provide that. So the fact that they say it brightens dark circles over time, reduces puffiness, I feel like that's, not something I would really look for my concealer to do, but it's nice that it has that in it. That being said, I'm going to skip over it. I feel like I have purchased a lot of concealer over the past year or two because a lot of brands have launched concealers that have really nice claims and I've enjoyed a ton of the formulas. but I also feel like I just need to work through some of the concealers I own before purchasing additional options. Tarte also launched a new concealer. This is the Shape Tape Radiant. It doesn't sound like a bad launch at all, but I think they already have two versions of the Shape Tape. They have the original and then they have the Ultra Creamy. So now they have Shape Tape Radiant. I mean, you think Urban Decay is bad with like the constant naked palettes and naked launches. I feel like Tarte is even worse with their Shape Tape line. Like everything is called Shape Tape these days, or they have like these new liquid blushes and highlighters and contours, and somehow they work Shape Tape into those too. I guess if it works for them. This one is described as a medium coverage formula that feels feather light. It gives a soft focus, blurred effect to the skin, and then hydrates and moisturizes as it temporarily plumps. Again, I feel like concealers have such lofty claims, and I don't know that I've ever really come across like a life-changing concealer, but the way they describe them sounds like they will be. Okay, so the Ultra Creamy, I guess the difference between the two, this one is maybe more of a full coverage concealer. It's also supposed to give you like a natural moisturizing matte finish and just be very smoothing and plumping. So they sound pretty much the same, except for the fact the new one is medium coverage and the Ultra Creamy is full coverage. Honestly, this does sound like a concealer I would like to buy, but yeah, again, I'm good. Right now, I'm really enjoying the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Concealer. And honestly, I feel like that one performs in the way that this one is described. I would say it is like a medium to buildable concealer that's very smoothing on the eyes. It's very moisturizing, but it has good coverage. It's definitely not quite as runny as a lot of hydrating formulas I've tried. That's the one I've been using a lot lately, so I'm just planning on sticking with that. Essence just launched new bronzer sticks. These come in 3 shades for $4.99 each. Ideally, it would be nice to see additional shades because I feel like 3 shades just is not enough when it comes to bronzers. But on top of that, it seems like the undertones, the range combined with the undertones definitely leaves room for improvement. So here's a photo of the swatches. The light one looks light, but then there's a big jump to like a super gray toned one. And the last one looks nice for deeper skin tones. So I feel like the first one and the last one are good, but there are definitely some gaps in the middle and maybe on the ends as well. I don't know. It looks like these come in the same packaging as their Baby Got blush sticks, which I wanted to like, but unfortunately those didn't work for me. The finish was so nice. Like it had this beautiful, very like subtle glow to it. And I like a good glowy blush. It just looked really pretty, but the formula looked very heavy, really cakey on the skin. Like it felt and looked like a thick cream blush. So that's the reason why I didn't like it. I feel like this will probably be the same. They describe it as a soft, creamy texture and a buildable formula. It does say they give the face a dewy radiance glow, which sounds nice. But again, I'm sure this won't work for me just based on my experience with the blush. And the shade range and the undertone choices are just weird. I do love the Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer, which has a really good shade range. I think there are 5 shades. I'm wearing that one today. And I also really like the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer. If you do want a bronzer that gives you like a radiant glow, that one is really nice too. That one's a little bit more subtle, but again, way better shade range. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about is not makeup related, but I just thought it was kind of funny. Way makes a lot of hair products and they make some of my favorite perfumes. I have 2 of them back there, but my favorite scent is Melrose Place. Like before this video, I would have said if they put Melrose Place in anything, I would probably try it and pick it up. They are collaborating with I don't know if this is a laundry detergent brand or like a lifestyle brand, Dead Cool, I think that's the name of the brand, and they're turning Melrose Place into a laundry detergent. Honestly, that sounds kind of appealing. I love the Melrose Place scent so much. The notes are bergamot, lychee, cedarwood, and white musk, and it just smells so good. Like it is the best scent ever. The thought of my laundry smelling like that is really appealing, or even like my sheets. That sounds so nice, but this is an expensive laundry detergent. So it's $35 for 32 ounces. I don't know exactly how much laundry detergent costs off the top of my head, but I feel like you could get a gallon-sized bottle for a similar price, maybe even a little bit less. Also, this is limited edition, so if you fall in love with it, it's not like you'll be able to purchase it forever. So for the most part, when it comes to our laundry, like we just throw all of our laundry together, like my husband's clothes, my clothes, our toddler's clothes. And I feel like if I had this, I would be selfish with it. And I would be like, I'm only using it on my clothes. So there is like that added step of having to just use it with my clothes specifically or my sheets. I feel like that would be kind of nice. So I don't know. It'd probably be like a fun luxury purchase, but I can't justify spending that much on laundry detergent It just, I mean, I have the perfume, so if I wanna smell like it, I'll just spray it on. Okay, that's everything I wanted to share with you in today's video. All of the new makeup launches I don't plan on picking up. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's anything you want to see on my channel during the month of May. Like I said, I recently uploaded a few declutter videos, so I'll link those on the screen in case you want to check them out, and I will see you very soon with a new one. Bye.